Hi there, a very good morning, good afternoon to all of you, depending on wherever you're watching me in this Simply Stocks. And I'm here with another video. And this time, this video, as on every Thursday, is on the market. So we'll discuss about the markets, the global markets, Bitcoin, gold, etc. In the next 5 to 8 minutes, we'll discuss about that. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. Whatever discussions I have is purely on the basis of my experience into the market over the last 10-15 years, and I'm a retail trader, and so I'm not a portfolio advisor, not a BSc and SC member. So kindly do consult your financial advisor before taking any call. uh, Before I talk about the markets, a small request: kindly support me on Patreon. The link is in the description. Once you do that, you can have access to my portfolio, my watch list, and you can ask me any queries with respect to markets and investments, and I'll be more than happy to answer that. The link will be in the description. Also, I have started 2 3 new channels on different genre, like travel, like making money online, and how to be financially free, etc. So do check that out. I'll put the links in the first comment after this video. That will be in the comment box, so you can probably just subscribe to my channel there and subscribe here as well. Now, in order to discuss about all of these markets, let me take you to the TradingView website. So this is what we are going to discuss about: Bitcoin, mid cap, small cap, and large cap indices in India, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and also gold. So let me begin with Bitcoin, or the cryptocurrency itself. Now we are seeing what is happening at the moment is that there is a semblance of a triple top being made here. December we made a high of around 108,000. Then in January we went to around 109,000 on Bitcoin, and this time around we went to around 105, 106,000. So I don't think that that will signal a huge round of selling again, because there will be rate cuts that will be coming in the US in the next 6 months at least. So the rate cycle is going to turn around in the next foreseeable future. So, and that would be really positive for a risk asset like Bitcoin. So I believe that there will be some correction. We are closer to the 10 DMA. We might go to the 20 DMA over the next 2 3 months till August. I believe that there will be consolidation and correction. We might go to 92 93,000 on Bitcoin and then recover from there. That's my understanding. I don't see Bitcoin just you can say skyrocketing from here in the next 2 3 months, but from August onwards, with the winter setting in and everything, I think by the end of the year Bitcoin will be much more higher. My target for the year end is around 150,000 at least on Bitcoin, but that is after the correction. That's what I feel. Over the next 2 3 months there could be consolidation or a semblance of correction, about 10% 12% from here. That is a possibility here. Coming to the Indian indices, let me just have a look at the mid cap index. The mid cap index currently is around 56,200, doing fine, although Nifty is down. So as we see, Nifty is down by half a percentage point. Mid cap is in the green, and now it is trending above the 200 DMA. The 200 DMA is 55,400. We are at 56,200. Now if it closes here for 2 3 days, by tomorrow, if we close above 55,200, then this looks pretty bullish. 55,400, that is the 200 DMA, if you see here. So I believe Indian markets are in good stead, and I won't be surprised if we go closer to these levels on the Indian market, especially in the broader market. So in case of mid caps, we are looking at 60,000, closer to 60,000 levels, possible in the next month and a half, 2 months. So by July or so, we could be hitting new highs on the mid cap index, and that would be the time. If you're bought into the market in March April, that would be the time, and it is for a shorter term that you have done, probably that will be the time to book some profits at that point of time. For longer term holders, if you have bought in April, and that collapse that we saw in the market right here around 7th of April, if you have bought anywhere around here, then it is and if you have a 2 3 year time horizon, then I would suggest that hold on to the stocks, because over the next 3 years Indian economy should do well, and the markets are, from a 2 3 year perspective, very reasonably priced. Now let me just give you an idea of the small cap index as well. So we are up by half a percentage point here as well. Now here the 200 DMA is around 52,000, so we are set to scale that. That's what I feel, and even go higher over the next 2 months, but not extremely quickly. There could be a lot of volatile movement in the small caps because they have gone up a lot. The small cap index itself has gone up a lot from 7th of April. If you see, from around 41,000 levels, it's already up over 20% over the last 6 weeks. So in just 6 weeks, 5 weeks, we are up 20% on the small cap index. I think the move should continue. So in my opinion, most of the uncertainty is out of the way. The results in the next 1 week or so in the small caps will be out of the way. So over the next 2 months, we could see these indices trend higher, especially in July, mid to end of July, 20th and 25th of July. I believe from a shorter term point of view, all these indices could make a top, a relative shorter term top. So that's what I feel. Coming to the Nifty, it has corrected a bit. We went to 24,500. We got some support there. If you see here, 24,200 is the 20-day moving average. 200 days around 24,000. I believe 24,000 should hold, and as long as 24,000 is protected, we are headed higher. Now in terms of Nifty, I always consider valuation. So we have done around 1115 rupees of EPS this year, and so 24,000, let's say 24,600 on a round figure basis, on 1115 rupees of EPS, we are trading at around 22.1 times. I believe a good 10 to 12% upside is very much possible before this tops out on a shorter term basis. So if we take that, then from 22.1, if I say 11% from here, around 24 and a half times, if the market tends to go there, then we should be extremely careful in the market. That is around 27,300, 400. So I won't be surprised if we go past highs in the next few months, and that's my bullish call on the markets now. The way this market is headed higher, and the way FIIs have come back, although there has been one day of massive selling that took place, but overall FIIs have bought into the market. So in my opinion, this is a very interesting phase for the Nifty. I feel that taking into consideration the sentiment, and people are not that bullish with the way markets have fallen in April, I think it's going to suck. The market is going to suck people into it, and that will happen only at new highs. That's when all the sheeps, I'm sorry to say, would come in, and then large investors or professional traders will sell to them. So I think 27,000 to 27,000 is a possibility. We might hit new highs over the next 2 months. That's my understanding, and then we could see a correction, a decent 10-15% correction till probably September. That is my understanding of the market. Let's see how things go about, but that is what I feel, because already the last 2 quarters have not been that great for the Nifty, and so for the Nifty earnings. So I believe the base is set for a decent growth in FY26. In that term, in FY26, we are expecting a good at least 10% growth on this. So 1230 is a reasonable you can say estimate for FY26, and based on that, even if we take, say, current valuations of 24,600 based on 1230 rupees EPS, we are trading at 20 times FY2600, which is not expensive, and that is why I believe it will get expensive around 22 and a half times, and that is where we will head to once we are around 27,500 or so. So 27,200 to 27,600 is a possibility in the market by end of July, in the next 2.5 months. That is a possibility I'm looking at. Now coming to the US markets altogether. So the Dow Jones is doing pretty well. The US markets are doing well. after the Trump tariff tantrums are virtually over, and now the tariffs are back, nearly back to normal, not quite back, but uh, a very good situation to what it used to be, or what it was around early April. And that's why the markets have come back sharply from around 36,000, 36,500, all the way to 42,000. So we are looking at a scenario where we could be seeing new highs on the Dow Jones by year end, at least, or just before that. I think the US markets will also perform well along with Bitcoin, because I feel because of rate cuts, that is probably it's an inevitability that rate cuts will take place. So markets should tend to go higher with that, and numbers are much better. Numbers of the big seven companies, etc., and the forecasts are now much better compared to what used to be, say, 2 months back. So things are looking good there. If I look at the Nasdaq, it is headed towards highs. In fact, the way Nasdaq has come back is absolutely magnificent for those who are invested into the US markets. 16,500 was the low, and we are at 21,300 and headed higher. The high, all-time high, is 22,200. We are not far away from there. In fact, we are only about 4% away from those levels. I will not be surprised if that is hit over the next few months on the Nasdaq as well. And in terms of S&P 500, again the same thing, that we are headed towards. In fact, we are only 200 points away. In fact, 200 points away from the highs here, and S&P 500 is going great guns. There could be some consolidation or correction, but if you look here again, 5750 is where the 200-day moving average is. So it should come back to those levels. There could be some correction of around 2-3%, and then the big move will take place over the next 3-4 months. New highs possible on the US markets as well. Finally, coming to the gold, it's correcting, and it is showing a similar pattern as to what it should show when things are getting normalized with everything around, say, with respect to whatever skirmishes we are having with respect to geopolitical situation, and financially with tariffs, things are getting back to normal, and hence gold made a high around late April, early May, and then has now corrected from around $34, $3,434. It's now corrected nearly 10% to 3140. I believe that gold may not go higher very quickly. It might consolidate. It has strong support around the 3050 levels or so. I think around 3050, 100 points lower, there's strong support, and I don't think it can be breached that easily. So around $3,000 to $3,050 is where gold may settle for a few weeks. That's my understanding. So this is the analysis of mine for the week. For the markets, please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you can get my video straight away when I post it. The subscription level is extremely low. Kindly do subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my new channels as well, which I have opened separately. The links will be in the comment box. Thank you.